Usually, we learn by looking, listening, and transcribing what the teacher tells us. Today, I want to invite you to an exciting educational adventure where we will become engineers, inventors, or scientists. The Educational Robotics Experience with LEGO Education.
When children get involved in creating something or doing something, at the same time they are building the structure of their own knowledge. Many think the illiterates of the 21st century will not be the ones that can't read or write, but the ones that can't learn, unlearn, and relearn. And that is why creativity is so important these days.
The same way that reading and writing is critical to being a full participant in society. Because once you learn to read and write, it helps you learn many other things. It helps you communicate your ideas. The same with technology these days. Being able to create with technologies, to build with technologies, to program with technologies, is a new way of expressing yourself. It's important for everybody to be able to do if they're going to be full participants.
Robotics with LEGO Education represents the synthesis of scientific and technological development of humanity. It begins with structures, continues with simple machines like pulleys, levers, wheels, axes, and gears. Then, motorized mechanisms, and finally control and automation processes. In this context, technology becomes the best way to articulate knowledge. Later, robotics becomes educational when it is accompanied by books for the teachers with learning sessions, building guides, banners for educational settings, and virtual and hands-on training, as well as with supervision and monitoring programs. Educational robotics is without a doubt today the most effective way to generate developed minds in students, where they explore, investigate, and at the same time build the structure of their own knowledge.
When they create a robot and tell the robot how they want it to behave, it's a way of taking their own thinking and putting it out in the world and trying it out. It's sort of testing out their ideas. So when they write a program to control their LEGO Mindstorms robot, they're actually taking sort of a piece of their mind and seeing whether their idea really works out the way that they expected it to. As you experiment with the robot, you're not just making the robot work, you're making your ideas work. And we think that's even more important today than ever before, because we live in a world where things are changing so quickly that what you learn today will be obsolete tomorrow. So the most important thing is to become a good learner, to constantly be able to come up with new innovative solutions for the unexpected situations that we know are going to confront us in the future. So we think it's so important for people to grow up as creative thinkers, where they can come up with a creative way of dealing with an unexpected problem or an unexpected situation.
Let's find out how LEGO Education is preparing Peruvian students for the future.
We build the little houses together. I like it very much because I learn.
This material develops physical and intellectual abilities in small children.
Lego is my favorite. With the gears, I have learned to increase and decrease speed.
The mechanical advantage in this mixer is obtained with the use of gears. The tilt sensor works as a switch thanks to this advanced level programming. In maths, we've learned ratios. The output gear has 8 teeth and turns 3 times. The motor gear has 24 teeth and turns 1 time. I like the programming because it's very simple.
Now we've built our solar car. Its speed depends on the amount of light we've captured from the sun.
The light captured with the panels is transformed in electricity, which is transformed in mechanical energy, which allows our car to move. We've learned that we work faster and better working in group.
Children build and experiment with their own hands, and so they learn by doing. Knowledge becomes relevant when it evolves through their own experiences.
To operate this robotic arm, we don't use any electricity or motor. We only use air. It's controlled with these interrupters. With the first one I can control it vertically, with the second one horizontally, and with the third I can hold or release. I like the fact that it allows to develop our minds. The weight is captured by this propeller, which turns it into mechanical energy, transforming into electricity when it passes through this generator. The system has a meter and the NXT brick that allows us to program the functions when we connected it with the computer. And we can program. We are learning things that we will use when we grow up.
We're learning things that will help us develop our country.
Using Lego educational material, Peruvian students participate in the World Robotics Olympic, Asia Pacific, and the first Lego League in Europe and the United States.
Those ideas of how to work through a project are things that everyone uses as they grow up, regardless of whether they grow up to become a scientist or an engineer, or a journalist, or a marketing manager, or a politician, or a community organizer. Everybody, in whatever they end up doing in their life, is always working on projects and starting with an idea and carrying through to some final project. So I think helping children grow up learning about what are the right strategies and practices for working on a project is one of the most important things they could learn. And they clearly learn it very well when they're working on robotics projects in First Lego League.
Lego education is now closer to us. With accessible, good products, it develops your imagination and creativity. So don't be afraid to set new challenges every day.